Good morning, no, good afternoon, everyone. It's just gone 12 p.m. Hope you are well. Olwen Jennings here, your spiritual guide and empowerment coach on the 29th of September, coming in with your energies of the week forecast from today, the 29th of September, until Sunday, the 5th of October. How on earth did we get to the end almost of September? It is getting really close towards the end of the year, isn't it? Can't quite believe it, but I don't know what it's like where you are today, but here in my part of Hertfordshire, it is beautiful, lovely sunny day. When I was walking the dog, there was lots of beautiful sunlight, rays of sunlight coming through the trees, and where the grass was wet, it was literally making the grass look sparkly, and the cobwebs were looking sparkly, and it looked lovely. And I love the colours of autumn. So wherever you are, I hope the weather is being kind to you as well. So this week it's a little bit quieter astrologically, you'd be glad to know. That doesn't mean you haven't got work to do, of course. So really this week is all about really setting you not setting your intentions, because probably you've already done those, but really now starting to take action towards making those intentions or goals happen. And the idea being that really you're looking ahead towards the spring equinox, which is in 6 months' time. So what are you trying to grow between now and then, and being very intentional with it. So what action do you now need to start taking? As I understand it, the first quarter moon has just gone into Capricorn. So Capricorn is all about taking action and longer term vision for your goals. Okay, so this week is a really good week for taking action, making a plan, being very intentional with your intentions. Also, there's something coming up around communication this week, so mean what you say, kind of thing, but be kind with your words if you can. Find the right words. It may also be that you're going to find yourself going in a little bit more this week. So maybe when you're being intentional with your intentions and setting your plans and sowing your seeds and taking the action, maybe you work out there's a bit more learning to do, or you need to know something else. So maybe that's something else that's going to come in for you. Feels like a good time to kind of further your knowledge if you want to, and if you feel you need to. It's a good week this week for expression. So I've already said about saying what you mean, but it may well be like eclipse season has brought up for you where things aren't quite right in relationships and things like that. So, or in any situation. So how can you try to move forward with that now? Are you able to express yourself? You may find you're more able to express yourself and say what you mean. So think about that, and take the action if it feels right. Towards the end of the week, you might also feel or see or notice that there may well be some old patterns coming up that you thought you dealt with. It could be, that little voice that tells you not to say something, for example. So just be aware of that, and, know that it's safe to express yourself. You have every right to be heard and to be listened to. Right, so that's really coming up as well, and it's about not being fearful of what it is you want and you desire as well. And once you really do believe in yourself, see, this is what's coming up now for me, as I'm sort of tuning in here is that we really, some of us, need a lot more self-belief in what we're trying to achieve. So rather than waiting for somebody else to tell you how amazing you are and how well you're doing, really believe in yourself first. Because if you do that, and if you believe in your goals and your intentions, then your outer world will follow that. So it's about getting it right in your heart first. It's about really believing in you. Um, and then from that space, taking the action from that space of self-belief. I guess it's when, when you're feeling confident, you're more likely to do something, aren't you? So it's that inner confidence. But if you feel or you sense your ego coming back to try and convince you otherwise, um, then just acknowledge that. You can even say to yourself, thank you for the reminder, but I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to try something different. I know for me, it's about trying different things now. Just to change things up for me so that I am putting myself first a bit more, and seeing what evolves from there. So maybe that's the same for you, because I often find when I'm doing these energies of the week and when I'm tuning into the energy, that what I'm feeling, a lot of you are feeling as well, right? So, what can you do that's a little bit different as well? Because I find when you're in your comfort zone for so long, yes, you get used to it. It's a nice comfy pair of slippers and all the rest of it. But the progress takes place outside of your comfort zone. So where in your life do you need to change things so that you don't remain the same? Because if you keep taking the same action, you'll have the same results. So I feel that's a little bit of what's going on this week as well, So what can you do differently so that you will end up with different results, hopefully better ones, for you? Hi, Jude. Nice to see you here. What time is it over there? Yeah, so let me bring in my guides now, but that is, what I'm feeling and what I know about, as much as I know astrologically, which as you all know is not lots, but I know a bit. So let's bring in my guides. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. Yes, this week, as Alwyn said, is really more inner reflection. We know we've been talking about that for a while now, but you really need it after everything you've been through in the eclipse season. Nature's slowing down, so you're being invited to slow down and really go with what makes you happy, what makes you tick, what your heart is telling you to do. There is this sense of some of you being able to express yourselves a bit more easily this week if you have been holding back or waiting for the right moment. Of course, there never is a right moment, but it might just feel better energetically this week for you. Being intentional with your words, as Alwyn said, is very important this week. So mean what you say. Don't hide behind false words, okay? This is a really good week for making a plan, for really, having set your goals or intentions and perhaps where you want to be in 6 months' time around the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. What is it you're looking to have achieved by then and how can you get there? So it's about making a plan, but also taking those first steps towards that plan. Now, it may well be that it's just a change of behavior, as Alvin said, doing something differently, because if you carry on doing what you're doing now, then you'll get the same results. And maybe that's okay, depending on where you are. But a lot of you aren't happy where you are and just need to change things up a little bit. That old adage about self-belief, really believing in yourself. If you can't believe in yourself, then how can you expect others to believe in you? So doing things that expand your confidence, your self-belief, trying new things can do that as well, right? Even if you feel like you can't do them, have a go. because that will help build your belief in yourself. But most of you know what you're doing in life. You've got lots of gifts. You are doing a great job, but you sometimes don't realize how well you're doing unless somebody else says so. But actually, it's really important to feel that within yourself for yourself, because then you're coming from a more expansive place. It's not that you're showing off. You're coming from a more expansive place, and you're likely to attract more of that good stuff coming in, right? And why not? Why won't you? Why wouldn't you believe in yourself, right? And a plan will help you with that, actually. You know, being prepared, as well, not prepared, but there is this necessity to go with the flow and trusting. We totally talk to you about that all the time, don't we? But making a plan is not a bad thing, all right? Because um, there is this feeling that you need to take action. You can't just dream about it all the time, right? You can't just sit there and wish something was going to change or to happen and not take action. So this week is a really good week for that. You might notice some old patterns of thinking and behavior coming up because maybe your ego is going, oh, no, you can't do that, or are you sure? But show it that you can do that and you're quite happy to do that. All right, so even if it's small little steps, small little change, it doesn't matter because it all adds up. All right, we're not saying that by next week you have to have everything in order. All right, this takes time, we know. So being kind to yourself as well, lots of compassion coming in. As we said, good week for expression, saying what you mean, as Owen said earlier. Making sure that inner world is in the right place, and then the outer world will start to follow. All right, and if you're noticing that things aren't flowing to you in the same way as they used to, it's because you've gone through a major change and you're not in the same frequency. You're not emitting the same frequency anymore. So it's necessary really to get yourself completely aligned with this new frequency, believing in it, making your plan, and then others will start to see that you're operating on a different level. So some of you may well have found that work has slowed down, or business has slowed down, or something's not quite right in your relationship. And this is probably, we feel this is because a lot of you have changed so much over the last few months, particularly during the eclipse corridor. And now you're kind of recalibrating and asking for others to meet you on that frequency. And if they can't, then it just means they're not for you at this moment in time, or the job that you're looking for is not for you at this moment in time. All right, so we hope that makes sense. But we wish you a wonderful week. Of course, next week there'll be the upcoming full moon that you that will be coming in as well. But take care of yourselves, and we'll speak to you soon. Oh, Joe, Jude, that's good. I'm glad you're in bed. Yeah, it does feel like quite a special week this week, which is good. All right, bit of progress being made, which is always nice. I just as an FYI for you, I am not here next Monday because I will be traveling back from Cornwall. I'm going to see my bestie down in Cornwall on Thursday, and I'll be back on Monday, but not till late. So I'll probably put some cards up on Mondays for you to choose instead. So I'll be back the week after, which I believe is the 13th of October. So I wish you well. Of course, if you need any help with anything in terms of, you know, clarity or guidance, then you know where I am. I've got my guides accessible and available for you, as well as my own intuition, the Akashic Records, Galactic Code. and we can get things moving for you. I can help you make that plan. All right, thanks, Jude. Take care, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.